It's a film with three brains. 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 It's a film with three brains.
Oh my God, you guys are freaks.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers.
You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
What do they call it?
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
You got a corpse in a car, minus the head in a garage. Take me to it.
Mother...
Who's Sid?
Sid's dead, baby. Sid's dead.
I love you, Pumpkin.
I love you, honey bunny.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
What's Fonzie like?
Cool.
Correctamundo. And that's what we're gonna be. We're gonna be cool.
Hello and welcome to the Film with Three Brains. I am Sean near Chicago.
And I am Cohen in Maplewood, New Jersey.
And I am Sam, near Earth.
Ooh.
Near Earth?
He's not committing
Yes.
to Earth.
Yeah.
In and around Earth, maybe. He's hovering in orbit. No, I said near Chicago because let's be honest. I've never been in Chicago.
Oh, God, this
I
ruins
know,
everything.
I'm such a liar. I'm so crappy.
Fuck.
No, of course I was in a suburb.
I want to have that Chris Farley coffee commercial moment in just a second.
Well, yeah, I mean, I moved to another suburb, but I'm so close to Scott. Yeah, I'm in a different place now. We moved. But I'm so close to Wisconsin that it's kind of silly to say Chicago. So I'm going to start saying I'm in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Yeah. kind of fits for me. I mean, they're both part of who I am and where I am. Anyway, I'm near Chicago, or near the border. Near Bristol, where I used to live. Why am I talking about this? I have no freaking idea.
Yeah.
It's very
'cause
relevant
it's
to our
non-sequitur.
movie.
Yeah, it's very relevant. And this movie is not very linear in narrative, so I'm going with the flow there. No, we're going to talk about Pulp Fiction, 1994, Quentin Tarantino. Well-liked, well-known film. Where should we start? Any thoughts? Like, when did you see it? How many times have you seen this in your
Oh,
life?
my God, I can't even count.
A lot.
A lot.
Like, we used to just watch this thing. We used to be able to say like every line of this movie.
I couldn't possibly say how many times I've seen it. It's a lot. But I will say it's been a while since I've watched it beginning and end, though. Like, sat down, put it on, and watched it till the end. It's been a long time. It's probably 15 years, I'd say.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's been a while.
So do you think, 15 years, whatever. How old is it now? It's over 30 years old, but
30, yeah.
32, yeah.
I mean, do you have any different feelings about it now it's pretty much, since it's been 15 years,
It was interesting watching it again because now I feel like I do see it somewhat differently.
Because
And
you're
both
wearing
good at-
glasses?
Yeah. And everyone's not a blur. But both good and bad. Like, I used to think of this as a perfect movie, and I don't think it's a perfect movie. It's close. It's really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's regardless of whatever flaws it has, it's just entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
It's funny, it's exciting, it's great. I will say, it seems what's the word I'm looking for? The plotting's a little clunky, and I don't mean and I don't, when I say plotting, I don't mean the nonlinear nature and the construction of the story. I just mean the things the characters do here and there is a little clunky, a little bit. It's
For example,
not that interesting.
He's doing Jules there. Example.
Like everything Jules and
Vincent
John
Vega.
Travolta do,
Yeah,
it is a little bland in terms of gangster hitman type.
You don't think that's by design?
It probably is.
I think it is.
But I also find it a little ponderous, I suppose. I don't know. But also keep in mind, this is a pretty major nitpick. I'm not like, oh my God, Pulp Fiction's a piece of shit. I can't believe I ever liked this movie. It's not like that. It's just like watching it with a discerning eye after not seeing it for so long. Some of the dialogue here and there feels a little awkward, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's Tarantino though too.
Yeah,
like that's his style.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. But on the flip side of that, what I noticed that I don't know if I really quite appreciate is how good John Travolta is in this.
So I agree.
And it's not the writing. I'm not talking about the writing. The writing's good. The dialogue is, it's Quentin Tarantino. It's very funny and it's clever and everyone's, speaks very eloquently and cool. But John Travolta's nonverbal acting in this movie is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good. He doesn't even need to talk. His expressions, his mannerisms are fantastic.
Yeah.
Just him, and I'll give you a perfect example is when he gets to Uma Thurman's house and she's talking to him on the intercom. And he's just like,
yeah, that's a
and even when she's
popular gif now, right? Is him doing this?
Yeah, and even when she says where it is, he's like, and I don't know, just like the business he's doing is so fucking good. Or when he tries the shake at Jack Rabbit Slim's, the $5 shake, his reaction is to trying that shake is so good. And it's not just the dialogue; it's just his mannerisms, the way he says he's so good in this. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
He's never been as good in this. Or he's never been as good in anything else as he is in this, I think. Before or after.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder what it is, because there's little, he's done in different interviews. There's little things like that he was taking the idea seriously. He wanted to know, what it's like to be someone who uses heroin, and he met with someone and tried to get this, you guys probably heard the story about the person saying, well, get, drunk on tequila, sit in a hot tub, and you're not even partway there. And, but he did it. He actually did it. He actually, and so the thing that, it's funny because I noticed it too, but the time that the 2 points at which I noticed it, that I was like, was one because when I watched this movie, I thought the same thing. I was like, Quentin Tarantino somehow wrung out every bit of charisma out of just about everyone in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are so good. And, I hadn't watched the movie in a few years. And then between that, it was probably like 10 years that I hadn't, but I've seen this movie a ton. But this was the first time I really was sat and I was like, okay, I'm going to, pick at this thing because that's what we do. And, so the two parts that really stuck out was one, when he's just driving the car and he's kind of high and he's just like smiling and thinking whatever. The other is when he's in the bathroom back at Uma Thurman's house and he's talking to himself, about what he's going to do, how he's going to leave. It was a nice night. He knows he's in trouble if he doesn't do that stuff. It's just perfect. And, the thing is that after the movie, then I started reading about it and all this stuff. And they say, well, some people argue this isn't really his comeback film. His comeback film was Look Who's Talking, which was 1989. And I was like, no, absolutely not. There is no way you can argue that was his comeback film, because that 5-year hiatus in which this thing comes out and what he does in this movie is so... Like, I can't remember Look Who's Talking. Like, there's a reason for that. And there's a reason why we remember this. And this is the movie that remade his career and got him a whole bunch more, movies to do for like next
totally.
20 years.
Yeah, I mean, the Pulp Fiction made him an A-list actor again.
Yeah.
Look Who's Talking is funny. I remember it was funny. It was good. It was well made.
Also
he was
has
good
Bruce
in it.
Willis in it.
Also has Bruce Willis, yeah. But yeah, it didn't catapult him. It didn't lift him from like, D-list back up into A-list, where he stayed.
Yeah.
For 20 some odd years or 30 years, no matter what kind of dreck he made, of which there's plenty.
Yeah.
After Pulp Fiction, he made a lot of fucking shit. And he was like untouchable.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was.
Well, I think people we dwell on, I mean, it is really fascinating that Travolta had this moment and that Tarantino picked him and it's a great story. It's amazing. But I think Bruce Willis himself had a moment here because
sure.
I mean, I know he's done tons of movies and he's had health problems and tapered off in his later years and stuff, but like you were saying how Travolta, I don't think he's done anything better than this. Bruce Willis, there's something about this movie that makes me feel almost differently about him as an actor.
Yeah.
In a similar way, like he just seems very believable as Butch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And I don't know I guess it doesn't stand out as much as Travolta, but I think it's significant. I think he's a significant part. And then you got actors like Harvey Keitel, which is nailing that speech he does. And you don't expect Christopher Walken.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to
I knew that
Keitel, but, yeah. Which is such an important part of the narrative and the story. And I don't know, it just there's these elements of the performance being almost more important than the dialogue, which I think is interesting to me on its own, because it's not like, it won an award for best screenplay, right? It won the Academy Award.
It won an Oscar. I don't know what else.
So it's clearly a great script. It's clearly well crafted and good dialogue, but there's also like this whimsical part of it that sets it apart from even his other movies or, things like it. And I'm not even sure exactly how he does it. I don't even know what the secret sauce is. I just know it's there.
Yeah.
Which is also impressive. Like you can't see exactly how the sauce is being made, but it's delicious. You're like, wow, okay, I'll just eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it start to finish that many times total. Like I've seen in bits and pieces, and I'll watch some of my favorite scenes, but I mean, you don't want to watch the Zed and the Gimp part over and over, obviously. But it's an important part of the narrative. It's crazy that section of the movie is probably the most outlandish, almost David Lynch type of thing in the whole film. I mean, it's pretty that sequence. There. It's awesome, and it's pretty well shot. And then, who's that? Kathy Griffin shows up in the accident scene. Like, what the hell? I forgot about her. Mm-hmm. So there's just so much. There's almost too much to talk about in this movie. We'll never cover it all, but it's fun because it's a fun movie.
Yeah, I would say that sequence. Earlier I said that for the first time I kind of felt like the plotting of it was a little clunky, but I feel like in that section it makes up for a lot of what I feel like is kind of lacking in the rest of it. Because, other than, some Quentin Tarantino's movies kind of go back and forth between like a lot of action based, business such as Kill Bill, obviously, and like Inglourious Bastards, where lot is happening, movement, characters doing things, and then his other movies where it's a lot of talking. And this one leans more towards a lot of talking, but except for like that sequence in particular kind of stands out. It's like it tends to stick to single locations, and that's fine. But I mean, that sequence is so fucking weird. I will say, you're just saying how Bruce Willis, is sort of stands out in this compared to his other stuff. But I will say this as a criticism. It's a nitpick. It's tiny. When he decides to stay, when he doesn't leave the pawn shop, I'm not entirely certain I buy it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not 100% on board. I'm
So,
like 95% on board.
Just to clarify, he's walking out
and he
he's,
stops.
he's free and clear, and then he
Yeah.
decides, I can't leave this guy down there.
Right.
Right.
Well, he
Starts
hears
looking for
the
weapons.
screams from Marcellus Wallace,
Yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. And I know that I find myself wondering how much is it that he can't leave any person down there to that fate.
Mm.
And is there a small part of him that just has a newfound sort of what's the word? He seems somewhat enamored with the idea of killing someone because of the taxi scene. When she asked him, how does it feel to kill someone? He says he doesn't feel the least bit bad.
I'd never thought about that.
You know, like
Yeah,
I
me
feel like
neither.
there's that sort of opened a door for him to a certain extent where he's like, and this is what I'm wondering, like, was this in Quentin Tarantino's back of his mind somewhere where he's just like, well, maybe this guy just wants to kill somebody again, you know, and what a great opportunity, you know. I don't know. That was a thought I had. But so my question is, if someone other than Bruce Willis had been in that role, you know, if you take someone like a Daniel Day-Lewis caliber actor,
Oh, geez.
would you have no doubt his motivation and believability of that moment where he changes his mind?
So if I'm following you, because of his overall performance, you're not sure he's believable enough as a guy with scruples or a guy with.
I just don't know if I believe that his character in that moment would make that decision.
So because it's an important decision.
Mm-hmm.
One, because it saves Marcellus Wallace, the guy who's trying to kill him.
And does Bruce Willis, the character, see a moment where maybe he can get out from under this thing with Marcellus Wallace by going back?
Yeah,
is that a factor? And so my point is, his performance doesn't necessarily convey any of it.
Okay,
quite well enough to convince me.
We need maybe more of a close up of his face and something
more going
working
on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a tall order for an actor, non-verbally, to convey to an audience why he makes this monumental decision. And I'm not quite sure that Bruce Willis's performance is 100% convincing.
Okay.
I do love that next part of the scene, though.
Yeah.
Because once he starts looking for the weapon.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think it's awesome.
It's just a moment. It's just a moment where I had a doubt, where I was like, I don't know.
What is he?
And you know, if someone said to me, you know what, I disagree 100%. I think it's all right there. I think his performance is perfect. I'd be like, yeah, maybe you're right.
Okay.
Again,
yeah.
Tiny nitpick.
I got to go back and look at that part because I remember he has a look on his face, like maybe somewhat quizzical look, for a quick split second.
Yeah, he sort of shuts his eyes.
He gets a little, yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's kind of a, oh, am I going to do this look? You know, like,
yeah,
right.
All that.
Well, I don't know about the performance or the character or anything, but I mean, the idea that you were running away from this guy, nearly killed when he runs you over, and then. And this guy is prepared to go to the ends of the earth to find and kill you.
Yeah.
And he just happens to find you. And then you have an opportunity to escape. I mean, in the end, it works out in his favor, obviously. But yeah, does he know that? I don't know if he's thought that through. I don't know if he... I still think it's just the idea that he wouldn't want to put anybody in that situation, even his worst enemy, you know, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it is his worst enemy, and he's down there, and he's like, yeah.
Well, it's kind of for that moment, he's kind of being diehard. You know, he's kind of being John. Like you can, like if you know Bruce Willis, if you think of Bruce Willis as Bruce Willis diehard, of course he's going back.
Right.
You know,
right.
Of course he's going to go back and save that guy. And so for me, that's kind of what it is he's that guy. You know, he still is somewhere.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
And like, obviously, up until that point, his character is portrayed in a way that he seems really quite fine with taking huge risks. The fact that he goes against like this huge gangster,
Right.
by not throwing the boxing match, and then he sort of automatically decides, I got to go back to my apartment and get my dad's watch.
Yeah.
He doesn't. There's no like agonizing over it. He's doing it. It's clear. As soon as he figures out that she didn't bring it, he's like, all right, well, I got to go get my watch. Even though they're going to be there, he knows someone's looking for him there, of course. So again, like, it's a tiny nitpick. And I'm not 100% certain I'm even right. It was just a feeling I had when I was watching it last night.
But the reason that he goes, I'm not sure if I understand his whole character, but the gold watch or whatever values he has, there's a big part of it based on his father, the idea of his father, the watch, what it represents, all that stuff. I don't think he gives a shit about anything else. Like,
right.
I don't think he cares
Agreed.
about his boxing the way he's remembered. I don't think he cares.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't seem to have family or another things he's leaving behind. He doesn't have much going on, but
Mm-hmm.
he just needs that watch. He just can't let it go. And if we didn't have the scene with Christopher Walken, if we didn't have the setup for the gold watch, then it would be you'd be like, what is he doing?
Right.
You just would
Sure.
don't understand. It would ruin it. It would ruin the whole sequence of it. But I think we're supposed to think that there's something to him other than just, being a guy that can beat people up. Or, it's weird that he has no backstory. It's like, he's not a bouncer. He's not if we knew something more about him, I don't know if that helps or hurts. But we just all that we know is the watch, the boxing, and his lady and his plan.
Yeah.
And then the crazy way it unfolds. But I don't know. I like the way it is. I don't know if I can figure out what his character is supposed to be doing or why he's doing it. But if none of that happens, the gold watch to me is probably the most important thing of the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I just feel like the core of, like, if you're saying anything in this movie, I don't think Tarantino's trying to be deep or say a whole lot. It's more like the opposite almost. Yeah. But if he is trying to say something, it's got to be in and around that watch storyline. Because it makes it all work, like, why would he if he didn't care, it would be just asinine for it to go back. And then he runs into Vincent Vega, and then I haven't even talked about the plot or how it wraps around, how characters might disappear or change. But there's like 3 or 4 storylines in LA, and they all sort of intertwine. We start at the diner, we end at the diner, but then you have to kind of watch the movie the first time and just go with it, because you don't know kind of where it splices together until they sort of show you how it works. But I don't know. I think I used to think of it like, just, okay, Vincent Vega dies, then he shows up again. Isn't that weird? But now I see it more connected, almost like the diner, the revelation, this scene on my shirt here. Well, Jules yelling at Brad, and like, that's an important scene. Then they redo the scene, and then what comes right after he kills Brad is the important part to Jules and Vincent, because Jules is like, oh, that was a miracle, man. And and Vincent's like, no, it wasn't. It's just luck.
Yeah.
And that is another like cool concept that they play, that messes with them, changes their fates.
Yeah.
And it's not something that we wouldn't, everyone thinks about stuff like that. So it's really interesting to see so-called villains, act like the way we act, and just think about things like that. Think about redemption or purpose and stuff like that. And again, it's not super deep, but it's just so believable that you just go with it.
I think that's
go
what
ahead.
makes the whole movie special, right? Because before this movie came out, a lot of times villains were something special, like they weren't ordinary guys, right? And that's Tarantino's touch. Like that's to have, because you think of Superman movies or whatever. What do they sit around with? Or James Bond. They don't sit around talking about who gave who a foot rub or any of this stuff, or go back to Reservoir Dogs. They don't talk about like a virgin. Like this is Tarantino saying these are just a bunch of ordinary guys who have this as a job. And whereas for all these previous movies, it was like they're diabolical masterminds, who, of course they're not going to ask about a big kahuna burger, like I think that's part of the charm of all of it, right? Is that you're like, oh, these guys are just ordinary schmucks, and they just happen to be in the position of, working for Marcellus Wallace. They could have been working at Ace Hardware, That's our plug, by the way, where
Ace is the place with the help for hardware, folks.
Right.
Or whatever.
Whatever. I think that's actually their jingle, yeah.
Or whatever. To me, I think that's the two things that Quentin Tarantino has brought to the cinema is the first big obvious one is the nonlinear storytelling, which he didn't invent or anything like that, but he definitely inspired a whole bunch of movies after him for roughly the next 15 years. I would say there was pretty regular, Pulp Fiction wannabe knockoffs.
Sure.
And they weren't bad. Two Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels we reviewed already. Go we reviewed already.
We did Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels,
didn't we? Or did I just watch it on my own? Oh,
or Snatch.
Oh, what did we do?
I just watched Snatch recently. Anyway, yeah, those kind of movies.
Guy
definitely.
Ritchie, was it Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead? There's like a whole slew
2 Days in the Valley.
2 Days in the Valley.
Yeah, Boondock Saints. You can argue, some of the Breaking Bad stuff. Anyway, so the nonlinear storytelling and just making the villains, I think, like the ordinary banter for these outlandish situations. I feel like the 80s didn't have that.
Yeah.
I can't think of an 80s movie that I was like, oh, well, this is clearly the precursor to Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I think that until he did it as an indie movie, people would be like, what are you wasting? Because the conversation's not moving the plot forward. A lot of the conversation has nothing to do with moving the plot forward. You can argue that the bullet part does, because how they respond to it and not being shot and what they're going to do, you can say is the choice between life and death. That's pretty straightforward for that. But it's I can't think of a crime comedy that's anywhere close to this from a 70s, 80s movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I would say it's probably not fair, but I would say that Woody Allen sometimes did it in his comedies with people talking about crap that has nothing to do with much, but more I think not for more to show like who the character is, and what they're worried about. Whereas I really feel like Quentin Tarantino's like, I'm just going to throw this in here because it's amusing to me. And sometimes it amuses us and sometimes it doesn't. Like, I don't know.
I wonder if there's people that just go to Amsterdam and like Royale with cheese, just say stuff like that.
Yeah, I think even when you go back to the movies that he says influenced him, they're not this, you know.
No. Well, they're all Chinese films. You know, they're all John
Right.
Woo movies, or like Ringo Lam, and you know, Asian filmmakers. Sonny Chiba and shit. You know, he's even Reservoir Dogs. He ripped off the whole Mr. White, Pink, all that shit from City on Fire, and
Yeah.
the whole Ezekiel thing that Jules says is from a Sonny Chiba movie, word for word. He just took it right from that.
Which is not an actual biblical passage. They made that
Right.
up, right? I mean,
it is. There is one, but it's not. It's
not
worded
that
differently.
Yeah, it's different.
So yeah, I mean that's obviously that's a criticism people have of Quentin Tarantino, is that he's like a I don't know if you guys ever watched Louis C.K.'s sitcom he had on FX or whatever the hell.
I saw a few of those.
Or
Yeah.
I forgot what it was on, but there's a whole scene where he has Dane Cook on, and they sort of like address the real world thing where someone had accused Dane Cook of stealing a joke from Louis C.K. and Louis C.K. didn't like pile on, but he didn't say he didn't do it, you know. And so in the show, he addresses it. Like they had a feud going, and he had him on the show, and as these characters, he addresses it. And basically, what he says is Dane Cook is a comedian he's like a kind of a Robin Williams, and that he's pure energy, you know. He's just a whirlwind of ideas and shit that he's just like gobbling it all up. The world around, he's gobbling it up, he's spitting it out, and he's doing it so fast and so energetically that he doesn't even realize sometimes what it is he's doing. And that's what Louis C.K. says. He says, I don't think you stole my joke. I think you probably heard it and it got internalized because your brain works fast and hard, and you just, and it just came out, and you had a joke, and you have no idea where you got it. And I feel like Quentin Tarantino is that way with movies. You know, he consumes movies, and I don't think he's doing it unconsciously, but I also think he can't help himself to a certain extent, because he's just like, he's a movie lover, and he has these movies, particularly Chinese cinema, Asian cinema, he loves, and he incorporates these things he loves into the films he makes. And I can see where you can be like, oh, well, it's an homage, or he's stealing it. I don't know. Like, I don't have an opinion. I don't really know what I think about it, but you can't deny it that he's using other people's shit.
Right.
It's
and
okay.
It's just a matter of, is it okay?
Yeah, of course it is. Because there's, in all art, there's no one. Like you can say Picasso's the most famous cubist. He's not the only cubist, you know, Dali, whatever. Like this is, I mean, there's only so many ways and so many things you can do. And, you know, I don't even know if it matters, but the argument that we're having because we're Gen X and we're born at a certain time, I don't even know if it applies to the future, the younger generations.
That's
you know,
that's disheartening.
No, because what I'm saying is that we're, to put it back into music talk, they are okay paying to go see a DJ, right? Mix music.
Sure.
And that's not something that existed 40 years ago or 30 years ago, right? I mean, it started somewhere a little bit right after that. But conceptually, a lot of what they're watching or what people are okay watching is someone literally remix what someone else has made.
Right.
Well,
like,
sure.
So to do that with a film in a much more subtle way, because you have to have such a breadth of movie knowledge to even know and recognize any of this crap without cheating and looking on the internet. Because there's so few people now who watch, because he admits that he puts little things in there to a movie 100 years old. You know, like most people have never seen a movie 100 years old unless it's a Charlie Chaplin movie, and I bet most people have never seen that. You know, so it's. I think that's okay. You know, it's that, you know, Picasso again. You know, good artists borrow, great artists steal. That's his quote. And so I don't. What he did though was with all those pieces, he put it together in a way no one's ever seen. You know, so I would have a hard time with any criticism of him doing that.
Well, I think it's much different to take a certain shot from another movie. Like, oh, let's imitate this shot. We'll recreate this shot. The camera is here, the thing is here, and I can't think of an example, but they're all. I mean, there's Tarantino's movies are filled with Easter eggs and callbacks and all that stuff, like more than I would ever pick up on. But I know they're there, and some of them I can acknowledge, be like, oh, that's interesting. But within the narrative of the movie, like you might stop and notice it, especially after a couple of viewings, but you're not like, that's not a huge part of the experience necessarily, at least not in like a Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs. I don't think they're based on, like this shot worked in this other movie and it works here. And I mean, I think it's like Cohen was saying, it's just sort of part of his vernacular, and it comes out of him. It's how he expresses himself, and it just happens to be, very similar to other movies. And if it's intentional, I give him almost more credit because it's meaningful to him. Like, he's amusing himself, saying like, oh, look at this, it's kind of like this movie, whatever it is.
But I would also, what you just said there, it's amusing to him. I think that's I have two sort of criticisms of Quentin Tarantino. One is that all his movies are so clearly him. Yeah. And that,
like your Wes Anderson problem, or your
yeah, exactly. Like it's so clearly there's no. It kind of ruins the illusion of what movies are supposed to be, to a certain extent. And so I don't know if you can even call it a criticism. It's just more an observation. Like I go into a Quentin Tarantino movie and there's no mistaking it. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. Yeah. His fingerprints are all fucking over it,
Yeah.
And
but that's good. He's making movies for himself, and some are more likable than others.
Yeah, I guess. But
that's a dream come true for most people.
Sure, no, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, like, if you want to put him in the annals of the best filmmakers in the world, I don't think he's going to crack the top 10, maybe not the top 20 because of that.
No.
But his influence, though, is undeniable. More than almost any other filmmaker, at least in the last, 30 years, if not much further back. I don't know. It's so rare to see a single filmmaker affect the landscape of filmmaking in such a way that he did. Yeah. So it's a weird dichotomy, I guess. And then I guess the other criticism I have is that sometimes the self-indulgence of his writing and directing style to me gets a little old. Like I rewatched The Hateful Eight recently, and I really have a hard time watching that movie because it's so it's like boring, like watching people give speeches for 3 hours and nothing much really happening. The ending's fucking terrible. And overall, it all feels very pointless. It just stops. There's not really an ending. It just kind of stops. And that's, I feel like, the most extreme example for him, and all of his movies have it to a certain extent where it's like, all right, like this. And I would actually use the scene while it is amusing when they Jules and Vincent don't get killed when the guy comes out and he fires the gun. Yeah. And it's like, up until the guy firing the gun, it takes so long to get to that point. Yeah. When they're just there to get the case and kill the guys. Why all the talking? Why all the yakking? Why am I eating your hamburger and drinking your drink? Just fucking get the case, shoot him, and go home.
Okay, that was a little hard to watch post-COVID.
Post-COVID?
I was like, why? You don't just pick up someone else's drink and drink out of their straw.
At least he finished it, I suppose, so no one else could get in on that orgy.
Let me play devil's advocate here. So what? Yeah. I mean, if he hadn't gone in and verify, well, first they had to verify where the case was. This mysterious case.
They do that. Yep.
And they asked the guy. He says it's here. I think that there's something to be said for the intimidation factor. Even Marvin seems scared shitless, and he is more or less part of the crew. He's an inside guy, right?
Sure.
But he's scared shitless. Like, so there's bonus effect of like, this is what happens to you, Marvin, if you ever double cross us or something. But also, I think there's a slim chance that Brad was like, no, it was all a big mistake. I tried to give it to so and so. There's there's a possibility that maybe he wasn't going to kill him before, like he wasn't decided to kill him before he ever walked in there. But also, and more importantly to me, that scene is so fun that I couldn't live without. Like, I didn't want him to go in there and just be like, hey guys, whatever, get the thing, shoot him, whatever.
Yeah.
He calls the guy flock of seagulls.
Seagulls.
His hair.
Yeah, he's so like casually. Yeah, it just tickles me every time I see that whole part. Is just music to my ears. I don't know.
Yeah, sure, I get that.
And not thematically, it's not important to the characters. It's just fun. It's just that they're like, well, we should have shotguns for a deal like this, and then they discuss why they need shotguns.
Yeah.
I guess one of the things that you're talking about is maybe the difference between Pulp Fiction might be a revolutionary movie, but Quentin Tarantino might not be a revolutionary director. Right? Because you can say, and it's really hard, you can't compare anybody else to probably Alfred Hitchcock, but you could say, look, Alfred Hitchcock was a revolutionary director. He defined a way to make, essentially make a genre, or how are you going to do suspense or thriller, where I think Quentin Tarantino's like, he defined a certain style.
Sure.
I think there's a difference between the two. And that every now and then his style hit gold, or one time his style went far beyond, multi-platinum, but which is different than I think the other people that you'd compare to. I think you wouldn't compare him to Steven Spielberg, because when you're talking about like who goes into the top 10 or 20 best directors list, I think that Sean's observation is right. What you don't like about him is the same as what you don't like about Wes Anderson, who's also very stylized in the way he shows a story and tells a story, and you could, there's other people too. You could argue Edgar Wright's very stylized and now and then has some movies that are better than others, but probably is not going to go down in the list of most profound directors ever. Doesn't mean it's not enjoyable or anything, but I think it's, I don't know, I don't think you can, I don't think you can say that Quentin Tarantino goes, like, I agree with you. It just doesn't.
But you said
I have a hard time personally. Just full disclosure here, most of his movies I see once, and I'm like, I don't ever need to see that again.
Yeah.
Of Quentin Tarantino movies I've watched more than once, it's only Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. All the others, I'm just like, whatever.
I would agree with that, and I would also I would add Kill Bill into the mix, because it's just the action scenes are so fucking well made in Kill Bill. I was actually kind of surprised, because very little physical action occurs in most Quentin Tarantino movies, that when Kill Bill, like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, that looks interesting. I'm curious if he can he shoot action? Can he shoot a fight scene? Never seen a fight scene in his movies before. You see someone get shot now and then. You never see like an extended hand-to-hand combat scene.
Nope.
And then Kill Bill came out, I was like, well, fuck. He definitely can, because the fight scenes in Kill Bill are fucking phenomenal.
Right.
The storytelling's okay. It's fine. It's a revenge. It's the most cut and dry revenge story, you're ever going to see, pretty much. But man, the fight scenes are so well done. They're so viscerally well done. They're so well shot and edited. And it's so exciting and fun to see those. It's way too long. There's 2 movies. I mean, it was meant to be one, but it was too long, and whatever. But Kill Bill is maybe the one that I'll happily catch, partway through, and I'll watch for a while and be like, damn, that's such a good scene. Or, man, what a great fight scene that was. And I agree with you though. Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction are the two that it's like it comes on and you watch it for a while and you're like, oh great. Any other one, almost any other of his movies, if it comes on, I might watch a minute, 30 seconds, but okay, that's all right. Yeah, I guess I enjoyed that when I saw it.
So you're aware that he released it as a single movie, right?
Yeah, that was
Kill Bill,
recently, right? Just last year.
December 5th, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's still 4 hours plus,
Yeah, I mean, it's very long.
It's not much shorter. It's just put them together, basically.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, so you're saying that once he had the action cred, it made you appreciate him.
Yeah.
More. Yeah.
Sure.
More so than the
Kill Bill, more than any other of his films, felt a little more outside the box than all his other movies.
Interesting.
To me, for the most part. I mean, I guess you could throw like Inglourious Bastards in there because it's World War II, but I mean, it's still a lot of talking.
Yeah,
a lot of speechifying. I mean, the opening scene in Inglourious Bastards kind of goes on a while.
Yeah, it starts to lead into that.
And then ultimately, the thing about Inglourious Bastards that kind of bothers me is that ultimately, in the climax of the movie, their contribution is sort of moot. They're not really driving that bus. It's the lady, the movie theater lady. She makes this happen. They're just kind of bystanders almost to a certain extent. They kind of throw in at they're like riding her coattails and we're Inglourious Bastards, but she did it. It was her. I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, he loves the revenge fantasy, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, as long as we're talking about his whole sort of catalog, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I very much enjoyed, but it also felt extraordinarily frivolous. And
yeah, it was very
kind
much
of
what
pointless.
He wanted to do.
There wasn't really a point of view of any kind. It was just like a weird parallel dimension snapshot of this time in Hollywood with the Charles Manson thing.
Right.
It was alternate history, I suppose, or whatever you want to call it. Much in the way Inglourious Bastards is as well. None of this shit happened this way, obviously.
Right.
And it's fine. I enjoyed it. I don't feel the need to ever watch it again, like Sam said. And then I feel like Jackie Brown is maybe his most overrated movie.
I agree with that.
Did we miss any?
I mean, there's a couple in there. Well, then there's the thing that I think he was going to do with Kill Bill, have two movies and sort of an intermission. He sort of did that with the Planet Terror and Robert Rodriguez, right? I mean, he did.
Oh, the right.
I can't remember the second Grindhouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was very much just him being nostalgic for 70s cinema and all that stuff. And that's what I'm saying. He clearly enjoyed doing that. And I don't fault him too much. I mean, it's not always for me. And you mentioned somebody like Spielberg is the complete opposite. He tries to make everything universal. He tries to make everything relatable to as many people as possible. If you're, if it's not a mother or family story, it's something everybody can relate to because it involves something very basic or universal. Mm-hmm. And Tarantino seems like he's not that interested in that. If you don't like his movies, that's okay. But he's going to make the movie he likes, and hopefully it turns out okay.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah, like I said, he's lucky he gets to do it.
Totally. I mean, there are people whose sort of success are inevitable, and I think Quentin Tarantino is one of those people. He's just what he does is just too entertaining. It's too good at what it is. There's just no way he wasn't going to be successful. It just seems impossible. You know?
In every alternate universe, there's Quentin Tarantino and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I'm sitting here nitpicking and shit, but the fact of the matter is like Pulp Fiction is fucking phenomenal. It's great. Yeah. It's so good. You know, and most of his movies have far more good than bad, I think, for the most part. Not all of them, but most of them.
The stuff with just that some of the stuff that was supposed to be in True Romance kind of found its way into Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember exactly what the example was. I think the Bonnie situation was probably part of it.
Yeah,
having a body to dispose of, some of that stuff.
Oh, oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, it's just interesting how it kind of mixed, like the way he came around to filmmaking kind of created half a movie, you know, True Romance, but he didn't do it. And then, you know, the stuff we talked about when we did True Romance. And then some of this stuff became part of Pulp Fiction. And this Roger Avery guy, I think he's not credited on the screenplay, but the Gold Watch, I think, is his story, his idea. Some of the ideas were taken from real people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, somebody did the adrenaline shot thing, you know, I don't know.
I was just going to say, one of the factoids I just read about, I didn't know. I always thought it a little odd that Steve Buscemi had such a tiny role, you know, coming off of Reservoir Dogs, where he has such a big role and he's so good in it. It's like, why wouldn't you have him in a bigger role? And as it turns out, he was supposed to have a bigger role. He was supposed to play the Quentin Tarantino part. He was supposed to play Jimmy in the Bonnie situation. And there was a scheduling conflict and he couldn't do it. And so he just said, you know, or they just agreed he'd do this little tiny role, like probably a one-day shooting. And it's really unfortunate because, like, the weakest performance in the whole movie is Quentin Tarantino in the Bonnie situation. He's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
His performance is so weird. It's so bad and so odd that it's mesmerizing.
It is.
He's just like, he's surrounded by all these great actors at the top of their game and he's shitting the bed. Every word out of his mouth is just terrible. And yet somehow it doesn't ruin the sequence. It's fucking baffling. The look on his face. It's better a little later. Once Harvey Keitel shows up, it's a little better. His performance makes sense a little bit more. You know, he's sort of, he's sort of he's sort of in awe of the character, the wolf character, a little bit. He's, you know, but before that, he's trying to be kind of a tough guy. It's not really working. The thing about the coffee, you know, like when Bonnie goes coffee, she's like, shit, you know, just yeesh. Find someone else, dude. Just because Steve Buscemi couldn't do it doesn't mean you have to do it.
Well, as long as we're finding fault with Tarantino and his proclivities,
it was inevitable.
Yeah, well,
no matter how much we love this movie, it was inevitable.
Right. We have to. No, it didn't occur to me until this time that the whole foot massage storyline. I mean, you're aware that Tarantino is kind of obsessed with feet, right?
I have heard that. Yeah.
I mean, and he like when he's in the vampire movie, they're in the bar and Salma Hayek has whatever champagne or something on her leg
or whatever.
She pours it on her, and and of course he's the one that's sucking her toes or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've saw that pointed out, but I was like, oh, well, what is the deal with the foot massage thing? Like, why? I mean, it is interesting because you're not sure yourself. Like, is a foot massage breaking some covenant of the marriage, or like going too far, or are we just being silly here? What are we talking about? And the fact that Jules and they go back and forth about it is fun and interesting. But the foot massage that just struck me this time. I'm like, oh yeah, foot massage, Tarantino. Oh well, whatever, you know.
And that's funny you bring that up, because it sort of reminds me of another nitpick. I don't know if it's a nitpick or it's more of a question. And I never really thought about it before until watching it this time. But do you guys think it's odd that this head of this gangster organization, Marcellus Wallace, asks one of his like hitman dudes to take his wife out and like show her a good time. And the reason I say this because like she doesn't have friends. Like,
yeah, she seems very isolated.
Yeah, but
for some reason, I don't know.
I mean, is that intentional? Is that like, oh, she's a kept woman because the gangster guy is jealous, or is it just their world is so insular that she doesn't have friends? It's just once you're in that world, it's just the people in that world, and nobody else has wives, so she doesn't have any friends. Is like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I just watching it, I'm like, it seems odd. It seems odd that you would, as a boss type, you'd say to one of your henchmen, take my wife out while I'm gone. Take her to
maybe
dinner.
it's more of a babysitting thing.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, like she uses cocaine. That could be an issue. He probably has enemies. That could be another issue. Doesn't want her sitting around the house.
Sort of like more like a bodyguard kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My biggest nitpick is I was really disappointed to find out that Jack Rabbit Slim's wasn't a real restaurant.
I actually wondered that. I almost looked it up while I was watching it, and then the scene was going, and I forgot, and I didn't look it up.
Yeah, no, it's not real. I mean, there's a place in Australia that like tried to use the name afterwards, but no, this was
tried to capitalize on it.
They spent $150,000 making that set.
Wow.
Oh.
But yeah, I was like, that should have been a real place. I would go to there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me being the scrounge that I am, but every time I see this, every year I see this movie, the idea that a $5 milkshake is a big deal.
I know.
It just makes me laugh now.
It gets cheaper and cheaper.
I haven't had a milkshake for less than $5 in years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Total non sequitur too.
You put bourbon in, it's going to cost like $15.
But one other little tidbit or question: have either of you ever seen "Kiss Me Deadly," the movie that the briefcase is from?
I have seen it, but I don't remember it very well at all.
I haven't seen it, and it's like the critics' review on Rotten Tomatoes is 98%. The audience is 84%. And I was like, okay, I got to watch that, but I have not seen it, and I just feel like if there's that big of a reference, maybe that one's worth checking out.
Oh, it's Mike Hammer movie. I didn't know it.
Is it
Private Detective Mike Hammer?
Yeah. Mickey Spillane's Mike Hammer. I read a few of those books. They're pretty good, actually, as far as such things go.
And of all the big name people in this movie, how come Eric Stoltz didn't get catapulted up?
I don't know. Maybe
like
because
all these other people got tons of roles afterwards. Well, Maria de Medeiros.
I feel like Eric Stoltz maybe shot himself in the foot a tiny little bit by doing a Pulp Fiction knockoff right after it, which was Killing Zoe.
Oh,
yeah.
Didn't see that.
Which was not very good.
I just assumed that it was after he.
Oh, wait a minute! Killing Zoe came out before Pulp Fiction.
Oh, because he was supposed to be Marty McFly, right? Sort of.
Yeah,
and then
he was. They shot for a few weeks before they fired him.
Right. So he was kind of along that line, like the goody two shoes. He did the Some Kind of Wonderful. He's like this nice guy. And I felt like the drug dealer was just like him being, hey, I don't want to get typecast here. I'm going to be a drug dealer.
So Killing Zoe came out the year before Pulp Fiction. It was written and directed by Roger Avery.
Oh, well, there you go.
So
yes,
that I guess for some reason in my mind, I always thought Killing Zoe came out after, because I always think of Eric Stoltz as like this dipshit who did a Pulp Fiction knockoff after Pulp Fiction, but in fact it was right before. And it's okay. It's not that great. Would
you like to publicly apologize to Eric Stoltz for that?
Sure. Sorry,
okay.
Eric. I like Eric Stoltz.
I do too.
I think he's great.
He's a really good actor. I mean, of course, I'm basing it all on Mask, which was when the hell was that? That was 1,000 years ago. Yeah, and he was great in it.
That's good.
He's
He
great
did
in
something.
this.
I mean,
in this.
he's great in this. Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah, it's a good
Great
question.
at
It's an
stabbing
excellent
motion.
question. No, you don't have to
Three
stab her 3 times.
Yeah. Do you think this movie seems funnier because of the violence and the other stuff, or is it just a funny movie?
Wait,
Both,
what?
right?
I don't understand
there's
the
a two-way
question.
When you throw comedy into situations that normally don't have comedy, that's
Makes
of
it
course
seem
going to
even
make it a
funnier.
little funnier.
And it's
Okay.
also
But it's still
funnier.
funny.
Like, I think what makes dark comedy so funny is that no one in it thinks it's funny.
Right.
You know, like we
Yeah.
think it's funny because it is funny, but when the characters are in it, they don't think it's funny because they're in fucking peril,
Yeah.
and that just makes it funnier. I think.
So we're just sadistic bastards laughing at these people.
I love dark comedy.
Yeah, it's great.
Sarcasm.
Well,
it is
as I
very
said
funny,
before,
though, yeah.
I mean, we can't possibly cover all the things we want to say about this. I don't think I still feel like there's like 5 more things I'd like to talk about, but
Yeah.
we eventually have to move on. So, is it time to see what we?
Well,
have on
I will
next?
say one more thing about it.
Sure.
No, you won't.
I don't often remember seeing movies in the theater, but I do remember seeing this because I saw it on Christmas Day with my dad.
Oh.
Because we all went to the movies, and my mom and my sister didn't want to see it. They went and saw something else. Me and my dad saw it.
Okay.
And he thought this movie was fucking hysterical. And my dad didn't really care for most movies. He was a big John Wayne fan, and that was about the end of it. But he thought Pulp Fiction was hilarious.
Yeah, I think I saw it with my sister in Oregon for some reason, just randomly.
Okay, wait. I gotta ask. Some little part of your story doesn't quite make sense.
Okay.
Are you sure you weren't seeing this for a second time?
Oh, maybe. Why? Did I see it with you?
No, but it came out October 14th.
Really?
And there's no way you waited 2 months to see this movie.
I saw this on Christmas Day.
No, I'm sure you could have, but I know I saw this opening night with my roommates. We've had Job on and Pern.
Yeah.
Job
Was it a
and Pern.
small release and then got?
No, I don't know how
Bigger?
small
I
the
don't
release
know.
was, but I mean, we were planning, like we went and saw this at the big theater on State Street in Madison.
Huh.
The night it came out.
I've been there.
One of the only movies I ever hung a movie poster up of.
It was released in October?
Yeah.
That's not weird.
Really? It seems like an odd release month for something like this.
Yeah, but it was his second movie. It wasn't. He was going off the. This is the movie that made him. Like Reservoir Dogs was a movie for us. It wasn't a movie for everybody.
Well, Reservoir Dogs is the movie that let him make Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, but Reservoir Dogs didn't get him. It wasn't like everybody lining up to see this.
14th,
I mean,
no shit. Maybe it was the second time I saw it, but I maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I was in 1994. I was probably living in the dorms in Oshkosh. I didn't have a car, so the movie theater I couldn't get to.
I don't know. Just seems weird.
It does.
Could be.
That's possible.
No, it said okay. So it was in Cannes in May of that year, and then it went to 1,100 theaters in October. So
That's not that many.
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened with release.
Yeah.
All right. Want to know what we're doing next?
Yes.
Well, I did not pick the next movie. Our guest for the next review
A new guest.
picked the next movie.
Oh.
But she also has not seen the movie. She picked it based on looking for movies that might be good that we hadn't reviewed yet. So, because her first 3 picks, she's like, "Oh, maybe you should do Office Space." I'm like, "Yeah, we've done that." And I'm like, "Well, what about The Usual Suspects?" I'm like, "Yeah." And
Wait. We haven't done The Usual Suspects.
We haven't?
Nope.
We haven't?
I don't think so.
Are you sure? I gotta look that up. I feel like I watched that not too long ago.
What was the one we couldn't remember if we saw?
Well, Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, definitely.
That was one of the ones that she listed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so then this next one was this movie that is it's a game that becomes reality sort of thing, or
Like Jumanji?
no.
Is it
So-
the game?
Yeah, I screwed up by saying that.
Whoops.
Yeah. I was like, this is. I was like, it's an immersive game.
Game. Oh boy.
Anyway,
Nice.
so yeah, I don't remember anything about this movie except for the fact that Michael Douglas. I remember the cover of the VHS tape because I saw it a zillion times.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I remember. I don't remember anything else. So,
right on. That'll be fun.
Anyway, we got to do it next week.
Do you know where one may watch the game?
Yeah. Peacock, if you have a subscription,
Mm-hmm.
or all the other things you have to like pay money, Amazon. Unless you have a subscription to YouTube, then you can.
I'm looking to see if I have an MP4 of it.
If you still need
I
to
don't.
see Pulp Fiction, by the way, it's on Paramount and Netflix right now, so
Yeah.
plenty of opportunity.
Indeed. Oh, the game. All right. Are you going to tell us who the guest is, or is it a surprise?
It's a surprise since I ruined everything else.
Is it V? Does she finally want to be on the show?
No, she hasn't.
She's like, nope, definitely
no
not.
way.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the whole restaurant scene at all.
I'm talking about
it
so much.
You're right. Good.
Is there something? I mean, you said something about the beginning. That it just starts with a bang.
I just love the way it
like
starts. I don't know. I love it.
I feel like part of. I was going to say part of the reason I think that opening scene is so awesome is because their conversation is germane to the story.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not just yakking about some stupid shit that doesn't matter, like the beginning of Reservoir Dogs. You know, the beginning of Reservoir Dogs is fun. It's interesting. It's different, but Pulp Fiction is it packs a little bit more of a punch because everything they discuss is leading up to that moment that kicks off the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it just I feel like it just has more power for the audience. You know, it packs more of a punch. It makes more sense. It's more relevant, and it's not just amusing. You know, it's good writing, good filmmaking.
Yeah. And by the time they come back to it, you've forgotten all about it.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, and these guys are actually in the restaurant. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great way to circle back. But I think, I don't know. I think they just do a great job. Amanda Plummer's great.
Well, yeah, I noticed for the first time, I think watching it again, how good Amanda Plummer is, and and because her demeanor is so it's so like kind.
Yeah.
I guess when she's in the beginning when they're talking,
she's
like
lovey-dovey.
She's like, I don't want to kill anybody. You know, and then the waitress brings her food and she's looking at her with like these doe eyes. She's like, and then she's like, let's do it right now. And he's like, all right. And then she's like, any of you fucking pricks move. It's great. It's so good.
It is a great way to start a movie.
This was
anything
great.
else? What else have we missed?
Yeah.
We need to talk about his use of music.
I don't know.
We did that in Reservoir Dogs.
It's so great.
Yeah.
I don't know what needs to be said about it.
Every one of these songs, I actually heard Let's Stay Together earlier today. And every one of the songs in this movie is forever will bring back the scenes.
Yeah, you can't hear any of it without thinking of this movie. Yeah. For sure.
You know? Awesome. All right. I'm bored. I gotta go watch a movie.
I'm bored.
That's a new one. I like it.
I'm hungry.
Well, this has probably been our best episode, so that it's appropriate that we have the best closing ever.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, the game.
That's enough, movie buff. I'm out.
See you.
Thanks for listening.
It's the From With Your Brains.
I'll stop saying shit.